Welcome to Hartford's Focus on Community. Today we have our newly appointed fire chief in the studio to talk to us about your profession, and we'll start out with an introduction. You are?
Well, thanks for having me. I am Tony Burgard.
Great. And Tony, you have been newly appointed, and that officially started on Friday, May 4th?
That's Friday, May 3rd. Yep, correct.
May 3rd.
Yep.
May 3rd. Sorry about that. And now that you are the newly appointed fire chief, then also the council yet has to do what type of commitment is that? That's not swearing in, is it? Is it?
Yeah, I believe there's a public swearing-in ceremony with the Police and Fire Commission on Wednesday evening.
Okay. What drew you into the fire service field?
Good question. So it's when I was a kid, we got to see all the fire trucks and the ambulances and the police cars that were out for public events. I grew up in the New Berlin, West Dallas area. So in West Dallas, the fire engine and I believe a ladder truck had come to my school when I was second or third grade. And then New Berlin Fire Department had like a public safety part of the National Night Out, and then Fire Prevention Week. Had a display of fire trucks, ambulances, and that really drew me in, that I knew I wanted to be in public safety in some way, shape, or form, and just it grew inside of me ever since then.
So did you start immediately after graduating high school, or when did you start into the field itself?
Good question. So it was a little bit after. In high school, I'd asked around about a possible career as being a firefighter or an EMT, and was slightly discouraged by my guidance counselor in high school. The big opportunity then was technology, so being something in computers. So I had worked actually with a little bit of woodworking skills and then worked towards something in computer technology, and then started attending WCTC and was working on mechanical design degree. And when I was there, I got to see just around the corner everyone that was at the public safety building that was working on their firefighter certifications, and that really started to draw me in. And then I changed over after about a year and a half into WCTC's college.
So prior to coming to Hartford, what departments have you been on?
So only one department. I started out with the Richfield Volunteer Fire Company right next door. Started out there in 2004. I had been there all the way until I started here February 1st of this year.
Okay. And what does being in this field do for you as a person that's in the community? What kind of sense of feeling do you have having this responsibility of leading a department?
So it's a big responsibility, but a huge personal gain from it, just knowing that you can help out people. And then at the chief level, being able to help other people attain their goals. So anyone who wants to become a firefighter and EMT, kind of help guide them through the piece that I struggled through a little bit on how do I get there? How can I attain this goal? I really enjoy that piece. And then the people who are already firefighter and EMTs, help them build their career. So further their knowledge base, help them get through other schooling, and I guess get any other training that they want to, I also get enjoyment out of as well.
Nice. Now the response area, for our viewers that are not familiar with what that language means, okay, is a little bit different from where you were in Richfield and coming into Hartford. So let's just explain what response area means and then talk about the difference in how much Richfield has and Hartford has.
Sure. So response area would be anything that the fire department, fire emergency response would be going to as part of your entire area. So for example, here in Hartford, we are the city of Hartford, but we cover more area than that. We also cover portions of the town of Hartford, town of Erin. We're going all the way out to the village and town of Eustisford as well. So anywhere that we're responsible for primary 911 is our response area. In Richfield, it was a bit of a similar situation. So it was a private fire company, but the response area included the village of Richfield, portions of the town of Erin, town of Polk, and all of the town of Germantown. So all in at Richfield is about 50 square miles. Here in Hartford, the entire response area is about a little bit over 130 square miles. And that's broken up between fire and EMS. Here in Hartford, slightly larger response area, EMS response-wise. We work a little bit with Eustisford, with Neosho, with St. Lawrence Fire Company, where we're providing an ambulance to where they're providing fire response. And then all the rest of our area is both fire and EMS here with Hartford.
Now, we also have what's called the mutual aid box alarm system, MABUS, and you worked a lot with that in the village of Richfield. So a lot of these areas that you're coming into, you're familiar with, correct? And their
Correct.
leaders and all of that.
Correct.
Okay, and so having a little bit larger response area, what do you feel that these responsibilities and roles are different than having a smaller response area and getting the people there and getting our, employers to say, yeah, we want to take you on as going to be responding to our community? Is that all part of when you're looking at these, Hustisford is a ways out for Hartford, right? Is that something that always is being looked at to how can we get quicker care to a certain community?
Yes, absolutely. So that has changed a little bit. I have, like you mentioned, really good working relationships with everyone that's in Division 111, so all of Washington County. I know that very, very well. So the new piece for me is learning the Dodge County piece, how all of those fire departments play into being pieces of that MABUS division. And I guess the way that you said it is the best, constantly reevaluating the best and quickest response for whatever those areas are. So that if someone in Dodge County needs us, but it's a bit of a response time for us, knowing that it may be a bit of a response for them coming to our area as well. A good example of that would maybe be the portion of where Town of Air and Town of Hartford have borders, where no one's really close per se to it, whereas City of Hartford, it's all within a very short response time, that no one is specifically closer than anyone else, and preparedness is all we can have for that, that knowing that anything that we have a neighboring department coming in, that we know it'll be a few extra minutes for them to get to help us, as well as our extra members responding in from home, from work, from school to come in and get extra apparatus out the door. Just having an awareness level and working towards some kind of goal that we can have quicker responses for everybody.
Okay. And as a newly elected chief coming in, the Hartford Fire and Rescue Department is continually growing. And this year, in the budget, they were able to hire 4 new additional employees. And having a growing department, what type of challenges do you see as the paid on call responding versus the employees that are on site?
Sure. So the growing challenges with the paid on call picture is just the ever-growing strain on families. So everyone has more responsibilities at home. So whether that would be home responsibilities with children, taking care of their jobs, sometimes second jobs, and then making time for the fire department in their spare time. So that's the biggest challenge there. And then making people feel like they are part of the fire department, that they have some ownership inside of it as well, can help give people a sense that they want to further themselves and a piece that they belong. So that's kind of how we can work through the paid on call picture. With the full-time picture and those growing employees, it's giving them the sense that they're working with the paid on call members, not that either side is working for the other side, but that we're all part of one big fire department and that we're all working together to accomplish the same goals, and then tying that in so that if we have a paid staff on site that can work with paid on call and get them trained up, but then using paid on call for their strengths, and then effectively building the entire fire department up to be one big strength instead of a series of strengths and weaknesses.
Okay. Do you consider that a challenge for you personally as a leader, making sure that the paid on call versus the full-time employees can work together, have that responsibility together, and be able to encourage each other? Is that something that you already have probably worked on before? Do you see that as any type of a challenge here?
Absolutely, always a challenge. Anytime you have different kind of personalities, different types of employees, creates challenges. But I would say I'm fairly comfortable with that. Coming from Richfield, it was a very similar structure, what we call the combination fire department. So in Richfield, we had a combination of full-time employees, part-time employees or paid on-premise employee, and then the paid on-call volunteer members. Very similar to this organization in Hartford. A larger group of people that are here, and it does create its own challenges. Everyone has, like we mentioned, their own timing that they have to take care of at home to make sure that they have enough time to help out the fire department in their own community. And it is a challenge that I fully engage in, that I enjoy, because it's for the good of the city and all of our responding people that we go to.
And so how do you keep the camaraderie and the sense of being part of the department? How do you create that or keep that going? Is that just being respectful of each other, or are you planning on creating a situation where they do have more of that feeling of connection?
Sure, good question. So there is no one item or even a list of items. It's effectively everything that we do.
Okay.
So it comes down from my interaction to every single employee, to what the other full-time employees have interactions with, to other paid-on-call members having interactions with each other. It's effectively every moment of every day. Everything that we do helps build that. There are some specific things that you can do, like I mentioned, furthering education, offering them opportunities, offering opportunities to the paid-on-call members to promote up through the ranks if they want to achieve higher levels like lieutenant or captain. If certain members have interests in, maybe it's leading EMS trainings or leading fire trainings, it's learning all of the unique pieces out of every single member, and then leaning on those to help build up the strengths of everyone else, I think is what gets that buy-in.
Okay. And as coming into this department, do you have a vision? Are you thinking of something further down the road? There's obviously the land that's been purchased for Station 2. Is there something that you are excited, eager to get to besides leading this great group of people?
Yeah, so it's kind of everything. So the opportunity to build Station 2 is very exciting. I got to be a part of that in Richfield when a new station was built in 2016 and opened in 2017. So learning how that worked will definitely help out here with knowing some of the pitfalls and areas to watch out for with building a new building. Specifically with the paid-on-call members, making sure that response times and people that live closest to those stations are utilized, but not feeling left out. I think for myself, it's the opportunity to have the entire picture. So working with the great group of people that are here, both the paid-on-call, paid-on-premise, and full-time, working with all the city leaders and department heads that are here, all the stakeholders in the community, like the churches and the schools and the hospital, but then tying that all together with knowing that we're trying to accomplish the same goals. We want to take care of each other, and then build further opportunities where we can have shorter response times by having additional stations and working with our MABUS partners. That's all a very exciting opportunity for me.
Great. Well, Hartford's lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, Chief.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And to our viewers, as always, thank you for watching.